Today I want to share with you my 4 favorite vocal reverb tips. Hey guys, Chris here from MIXDOWN online. And again, don't forget to share and to like. And if this is your first time here, click on the subscribe button below and the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now, when we're talking about reverb, we're actually talking about space. We're looking into adding space around our vocal, okay, when we're mixing. So this is a very important step. Now, on what I'm going to be working on today, I'm going to use the reverb as a send effect and not as an insert. So now let's start with tip number 1. Choose the correct reverb type. When I think about a reverb type, I think about a hall, a room, a chamber, a plate, a spring reverb. Okay, these are, in my opinion, the 5 main reverb types. So first, a question you can ask yourself. Do you want the reverb to be felt or heard? Okay, let's look at a small room. When we're looking at a small room reverb, we're looking at bringing a dead vocal, okay, so a vocal that was recording in a very tight space, to just bring a bit more life into the vocal. So we don't want to hear the reverb. We want to feel it, okay, more than anything else. So by adding a small room effect, we're just going to add a bit more of a natural vibe, a natural space. So the goal is not to hear the reverb, but to feel it, okay? So this is an example of a reverb that is felt. But when we're talking about a reverb that needs to be heard, we're talking about something large that takes some space in the mix. We're looking at some a hall reverb, for example, a plate, a chamber, you know, these types of reverb, even a spring reverb, you know. These types of reverb will definitely be heard in your mix. So let's listen to the song I'm going to be working on today. It's a very simple song. It's a piano and vocal song.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera. Viens.
Okay, you get the idea? So my goal here is to add some space to my vocal, and my goal is to hear the reverb. So I'm looking for something large, like a plate, a hall, and what I'm going to be working with today is one of my go-to reverbs is the EMT 140, which is a plate reverb. This one is from Universal Audio. And let's have a listen with that reverb as a send effect.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera. Viens.
Okay, so we get the idea. It's a large reverb. It takes a lot of space. Now, if we look at tip number 2, work the reverb time around the tempo and pace of the song. The reverb time, this is very important. Now we're talking about the time it takes for the reverb to die off. Okay, so there's a settings, you know, it can be called decay time or reverberation time. These are the settings you need to pay attention to. So let's work on that one. Okay, now we have it here on the reverberation time here on the EMT 140, and I'm just going to solo my vocal.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera.
Okay, now my goal here is to control the reverb time, so it's not too long and it's not too short. Now, this will depend again on the type of music you're working on. Now, if we're talking about an up-tempo song, you're going to probably go towards a shorter reverb time opposed to a ballad. Which you're going to look at a longer reverb time. Now, this song is special. You know, the rhythmic of the vocal is quite fast, but at the same time, that song is a type of a ballad. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to bring that down a bit and try to figure that out by ear.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera. Viens. Viens dans ma vie, viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle...
Okay, I'm going to start with this. It's a bit long, but it fits with the type of song I'm mixing. Now you have to be careful with this. If your reverb time is too long, it's going to overlap on the vocals, you know, on the next line, okay? Just pay attention to this. Try to fill it with the tempo of the song when you're working on these, on the reverb time setting. So next, tip number 3. Use pre-delay to bring your vocal up front. Now, pre-delay is very important, okay? So let's look at what we have here. We have a pre-delay setting. Most of reverbs out there have a pre-delay settings. Now, the thing with reverb, it's gonna bring your source way further in the mix, okay? So this is something that can be used to your advantage, but for a lead vocal, you tend to want your vocal to be up front. Now, using the pre-delay is gonna do that for you, okay? It's gonna delay the start of the reverb, basically. Okay, so if we try that out,
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera.
okay, now I'm overdoing it. Okay, I put that pre-delay to the maximum at 250 milliseconds, and just listen to what it sounds like.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis.
Okay, so now you can easily hear that the reverb is further away, okay? It starts after the vocal comes in. So let's bring that down, okay? I'm gonna calculate around 50 milliseconds. My tempo, my BPM tempo for this song is at 75. You know, it's at 75, but you can actually bring that to calculate that as a 150 BPM song as well. So 50 is good. I'm gonna start with this.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera.
Okay, that sounds neat. Okay, so it brings my vocal a bit more up front. So if we compare with and without the pre-delay.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera. Viens, viens.
Okay, so, you know, it's subtle, but you can hear the difference. Okay, I'm going to bring that back to 50 milliseconds. So this is tip number 3. Now for tip number 4, use EQ on your effect sends. Okay, now when we're talking about effect sends, we're talking about the reverb in this case. The goal here is to add some EQ before the signal hits the reverb. Okay, so this is why I'm talking about sends, EQing the sends. So basically what I'm going to be doing here is the Abbey Road reverb trick, which consists on filtering everything above 10K and everything below 600 Hertz. And you get something similar to this when you're looking at your EQ. So everything below 600 Hertz has been filtered out, and same for above 10K has been filtered out. Okay, so it's gonna, what that's going to do is going to bring my my reverb more transparent. It's going to avoid getting too much energy in the low mids, especially. Okay, so my mix is going to sound less muddy. So if you have a lot of problems with muddiness in your vocal sound, look at the reverb sends. Okay, so make sure you filter out everything below these frequencies. Talking about 600 or so, and this is something you can experiment. Okay, you just feel free to experiment with this. It doesn't need to be these settings. Okay, this is my starting point. That helps a lot to bring your reverb, your vocal reverb, more transparent, and you can even add a bit more reverb in that case, and the reverb is not going to take so much space. So let's listen to that. I'm just gonna bypass it first.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera. Viens, viens dans ma vie.
Again.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera. Viens.
That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm just gonna solo the reverb itself. Like I said, it helps a lot to bring the reverb more transparent here. Now, I'm just going to add something here, okay? Since on this vocal especially, there's a lot of energy going on in the high mids, it could sound aggressive, when it hits the reverb. I can actually EQ that out. So I'm just going to put my reverb on solo. There you go. I'm just going to filter that out. And let's listen to the end result.
Viens dans ma vie, tu verras, suis cette mélodie et elle te guidera. Viens, viens dans ma vie. Viens dans ma vie.
You can also use the EQ that is available directly on your reverb if you want. Now, everything I did here can be done on other sources. Not only vocals, that can be done on guitars, drums, and so on. You can use the same approach on different types of instruments. So there you go. These are my 4 favorite vocal reverb tips. Now, if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to share with us some other tips, you can leave your comments down below. And don't forget to share, to like, and to subscribe to this channel. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you next time.